Fill out a copy of SSA Form 1724, claim for amounts due in the case of a deceased beneficiary. This is the SSA form that the Social Security Administration will ask beneficiaries to complete in the case someone passed away and they are looking to claim benefits. So at the very top of the form, we'll start with the name. I put my name in, Forrest Baumover, Social Security number. If the deceased person received benefits on another person's record, then you would put that person's name here, just like this. Then you would complete the section below, which indicates that the deceased may have been due either a Social Security payment and or a Medicare premium refund. And the Social Security Act provides that amounts that are due to a deceased person may be paid to their next of kin or the legal representative of that person's estate as established in the law. However, the Social Security Administration requires this entire form to be completed and returned in an enclosed envelope. So you would fill out this amount, the claim for amounts due being made on behalf of the family or estate of who died on blankety blank day of October, we'll call it 2022, and who might have lived in the state of Florida. You'll print the name of the applicant, not the deceased. We'll just pretend that Forrest's son, Frank Baumover, is creating this application, and we're going to fill it out as so. So this is the rest of this page is the next of kin. First and foremost, a surviving widower, or widow. So if there is none, then you still have to write none in here. But in this case, we'll put my wife's name, Tanya, and then we'll put street address goes here. We'll enter the Social Security number. And then, was the widow or widower living in the same household as the deceased at the time of death? Either yes or no. If it's yes, then you can skip everything below because the money is going to go directly to the widow or widower. You don't have to fill out all of this information about additional beneficiaries. If not, then you'll need to proceed further so that the Social Security Administration can determine who is entitled to the money. And then, was he or she entitled to a monthly benefit on the same earnings record as the deceased? And again, if yes, then you would skip everything, sign at the bottom of page 2. We'll say no so that we can go on to item 2. And in item 2, this is the number of living children of the deceased. Now, the Social Security Administration includes adopted children, stepchildren, grandchildren, and stepchildren if their parents are disabled or deceased, or if they had been adopted by the surviving spouse of the deceased. And if there's none of the above, then show none and move on to item 4. Make sure you write in the actual number of dependents because someone at the Social Security Administration will be looking to make sure that the number of names matches up with the actual count right here in this section. For simplicity's sake, we'll write none and we'll move on to page 2. So page 3, or item 3, if any child listed in item 2 has a different name, please attach a separate sheet with either the child's present name, the birth name, and then an explanation for the difference. Usually it's marriage or some sort of court order. You just need to file an attachment that shows that This is a different name from the Social Security Administration's records. In item 4, you would enter the number of living parents of the deceased. Again, if there are no living parents, then you would write none. If there's one, then you would write the name of living parent, the address to include city, state, zip code, in this section you would enter you'll enter the Social Security number, and so on and so forth. Now you can skip line 5, which is the legal representative, if you have any relatives listed in items 1, 2, or 4. So if there's a surviving spouse, if there are children, or if there's a living parent, then you do not have to name a legal representative. However, if there are no living parents, no children, no surviving grandchildren, and no surviving spouse, then enter the name of the legal representative, which would probably be the person that's completing this form. Notice that the signature is a declaration under penalty of perjury, so you need to make sure that all of this information is accurate to the best of your knowledge. You would sign in the signature block with the day, month, and year. So we'll call it October 20th, 2022. Phone number goes here. Mailing address. City, state, county, zip code, and then direct deposit payment information. Select either your checking or savings account, your 9-digit routing number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you don't know how to get that, you can either find it on your financial institution's mobile app. If you go to the information section, you should be able to find it there, or you can just pull out a check and it's the first set of numbers on the check. The account number would be the second set of numbers on that check. And then you do not need to complete the bottom below, signature of witnesses, unless you happen to put an X in the signature block indicating X. So these two witnesses would be signing this document stating that they know who the applicant is if the applicant is not able to complete a full signature in the signature field. And each witness needs to sign and then list their address. That is the end of this form. However, it is worth noting a couple of things on the next page. The Privacy Act notice, which applies to everything that the Social Security Administration does, means that the Social Security Administration has the right to collect information. You do not have to provide this information, but if you do not provide it, then the Social Security Administration cannot do their job. Paperwork Reduction Act statement is a requirement for all federal agencies to give the person an estimate of how long it would take to read the instructions, gather facts, and answer questions. This form should take about 10 minutes to read, complete, and then you would send the completed form to your local Social Security office. You can either fax it or you can go to your local office and hand it in person, or you can mail it. We've written a complete in-depth article on this. You can reach this article by going to teachmepersonalfinance.com, searching for SSA 1724. Thank you.